Hey everybody, this is Ben from Split Couch Games, and if you're watching this video, then chances are you are looking for a little bit of an introduction to mods on the Xbox One for Skyrim Special Edition, and that's exactly what this video is going to be about. I'm just going to, real quickly go over, how to mod the game and a couple of quick rules and, maybe brush over some terms that you may or may not be familiar with. I highly recommend watching throughout this video if you have never modded before, be it in, a previous Bethesda game like Fallout 4, or if you just have not ever modded before, like, if you've never even touched PC mods. If you've touched PC mods and you're watching this video, chances are a lot of the information is going to be pretty, basic for you, but it will still be useful if maybe you have trouble navigating the interface or something like that. I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and jump into things real quick here. So here at the main menu, you have your, continue, new, load, add-ons, all that kind of stuff. We want to go into mods. And the mod system for consoles is pretty self-explanatory. You're going to have tons of different columns and such that will list out different types of mods, including, most popular, which you can change the filter so it can be most popular for today, or you could change it to all time, this month, this week, etc., etc. And you can also filter them by, highest rated, most favorited, latest, and then all the different subcategories, animals, buildings, cheats, collectibles, crafting creatures, all that kind of stuff. And these lists do go in alphabetical order from top to bottom, so that will make everything a little bit easier to navigate. And there is a general search functionality if you want to go that route. So you could just, come in here and type in whatever you want, like let's say you want to search for mods that relate to eyes. You'll, get a whole bunch of results. The search system doesn't really work out too terribly well sometimes, just because it does appear to give you results for any mod that even mentions the words that you search for. So it is best if you were to go onto Bethesda's website, search for mods there, and then maybe write down the names and then find them on here, maybe even, put them into your library and download them once you get to the console and everything. But that would only work if you sign into your Bethesda.net account on the computer. But yeah, once you find a mod that you want to download, you just, go over to it, select it, and then hit download. Now, I'm just kind of downloading this for kicks and grins, and it's also a small one, so it will make my life a little bit easier, because I'm almost at the maximum limit for mods right now. And yes, on consoles, there is a maximum limit in terms of how many mods you can have installed. It's not quantity-based so much as it is size-based. You can only have a maximum of 5 gigabytes worth of mods installed. And as you can see, I'm at 4.96. I only have 40 megs free that I can use. Now, your mods will get all placed into a nice list here, and this is called your load order. I accessed it from this menu by hitting the Y button. Now, the load order is important for a couple different reasons. First of all, any mod that you download will automatically be placed at the very bottom of your load order. However, this may not necessarily be something that you would want to have happen. There is a general rule of thumb when it comes to load orders that you would want to load certain things, before others. A great example would be that you would want to load the unofficial Skyrim patch as the very first thing. That way everything after it would overwrite files that it may change. Having things misplaced in your load order can potentially cause crashes, it can cause mods not to work at all, and it can just cause, in general, weird behavior. It is always best to make sure that whatever you want to have, like if you want to guarantee that you have a certain, texture overhaul, or if you want to make sure that, the Point the Way sign mod is there and you have a couple other sign mods or something, then you want to load that one last. Because whatever is loaded last will be the one that appears in game. Think of it as you can only have one copy of any given file loaded at any time in your game, and it will load them in order. So if you load, file A once, but then another mod loads that same file, but it's a different variation, that second mod will overwrite the first one. So load order is very important. And like I said, if it's not set up correctly, it can sometimes cause the game to crash. A great example is up here with the Apocalypse and Magic of Skyrim and Ordinator Perks of Skyrim mods. There's a compatibility patch, and you will see in the notes here it says make sure this is loaded after both mods in your load order or the game will crash. So if you ever run into a situation where, let's say Apocalypse and then you had the patch and then Ordinator, like this, you can come into your list and manually move things around by hitting the X button and shifting things up and down. I do recommend that once you get familiar with modding, that you figure out, kind of which mods you want loaded in which order, and that will kind of allow you to tailor your mod list to your own liking. It'll maybe allow you to download multiple versions essentially of the same mod and then have certain aspects from one and certain aspects from another. Like a great example could be, if you really wanted to, you could do what I did, and I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with this permanently, but I am toying with it right now. I technically have 2 graphic overhauls currently installed, which is eating up a good chunk of my, total allowed mod bandwidth, if you will. But the Skyrim graphic overhaul changes the way some of the animals and everything look, but I like a lot of the landscape textures in Skyland a lot better than the ones in Skyrim graphic overhaul. So I have Skyland for, a lot of the grass and trees, rocks, all that kind of stuff, like that's why it's there. And I have Skyrim graphic overhaul for the animal textures and that kind of thing. And like I said, just kind of toying around with that. I'll probably delete one of them a little later on. But yeah, whatever you want to keep, you want to load last if you have mods that overlap at all. Now, another thing is that if you have things like weather mods that completely change a core function of the game, you want to try to only have one of those mods at any given time in your load order. So you don't want to have like 3 different weather mods unless those mods explicitly call out in their description that they are compatible with one another. And if they are, you want to make sure that there's not a patch that's needed in order to have them work together. That is very important. And that is pretty much it. Like I said, kind of tailor your load order to your liking, but make sure that it's done in such a way that's going to avoid any crashes. Things like the Skyrim, the unofficial Skyrim patch do need to go at the very top because those are altering core files, and you want to make sure that they are not stomping over any of the other mods that you're downloading. And there will be some mods like Falskar here. I can't really move it. No matter what I do, it always goes right back up there. And the unofficial Skyrim patch does the same thing. It will always go right here. But like I said, I like to load it first, no matter what. And if there is ever a mod that you don't want, maybe it causes crashes, maybe it corrupted one of your saves and now you really hate it, all you have to do is find the mod, hit the Y button, and then it will delete it and remove it from your list. And that is about all there is to that. Like I said, it is super simple, and if you have any questions regarding it, feel free to drop a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you have any friends or anything that you think might benefit from this video, go ahead and share it with them, pass it around, whatever. If you want more Skyrim modding videos, then you can click the link in the description, because I will have one video covering some basic, I'm calling them polish mods, but they do a little bit more than that. I have one other video that's up right now, and yeah, if you want more, let me know, and I will definitely take it into consideration. In the meantime, I'll see you guys next time on Split Couch Games.